welcome back to another episode of Sports Opinion with Regular Guys. This is episode 7. Again, I'm Mike, got Ralph, and Frank. Made it back for episode 7 since he was missing episode 6 for the Tom Brady retirement show.
Oh, too bad.
This guy.
I got my comments about it today.
You gotta do some push-ups, bro.
But the first thing we are going to talk about was over the weekend, the playoff games. I mean, we had 2 good ones. The first one we're going to talk about is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I'm sure everybody had Kansas City winning that game. Everybody didn't think that Joe Burrow was going to come out and handle his business. But at first, it was looking a little scary for him. But the comeback kid, Joe Cool. I mean, my man was cool under pressure. He had defense in his face. He had hands in his face. It didn't matter. He was making them throws, making the right decisions, running that ball. I mean, he did everything he could. He put that team on his back to win. And it looks to me like Kansas City came in off the strength of their name. Like, we're Kansas City. Everybody should be afraid of us. And it looks like, to me, like the Bengals said, nah, bullies to the side now. We're going to show out. And that's what happened. What you guys say about this?
Well, I'm not going to disagree with some of that stuff that you said. I mean, Cincinnati, they came to play. Joe Burrow did what he had to do. Great game by him. He had what? 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. But you know what? He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He exposed the Kansas City defense. People keep saying Kansas City's the problem is their defense is bad. So Mahomes has to score a lot of points so they could win. And really, it came down to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I hate to say it, but he choked in that game down the stretch. I mean, that last play where he held the ball. My God, he held that ball and just went around the place. Get rid of the damn thing. And survived. It would have been 4th down. It would have been 4th down. Throw the ball away. Survive for 4th down.
Right.
This guy gets sacked, sticks around, gets sacked, fumbles the ball, game over. But, I knew it was going to be a close game because I knew that Kansas City's defense is going to struggle, and it did. But the Cincinnati's defense made the right plays down the stretch and made Mahomes make a mistake. And no, the league didn't catch up to him. He just had a bad outing. He choked that game. What can I say? I mean, if we're going to give Aaron Rodgers how many passes every year he chokes for the last 10 years, I mean, you got to give Patrick Mahomes maybe 1 year.
How many appearances has Patrick Mahomes made in the Super Bowl?
He's had 2 Super Bowl appearances.
1 for 2.
But you got to give Kansas City its credit. They went to 4 straight AFC championships, 2 Super Bowl appearances, a Super Bowl win in 4 years. That's not bad at all. Cincinnati, hey, congratulations. They're going to the Super Bowl. And 3rd Super Bowl appearance. They have more Super Bowl appearances than the Bears.
Yep.
But they have no wins to show for it yet.
Well, basically, it was a good game. Kansas City had a totally different first half compared to the second half. And Cincinnati just made the adjustments that they needed to make on defense. They put more pressure on Pat Mahomes. And it was just bad play calling at the total end of the game. There was no reason for him to be running around and make passes anyway. It should have been a straight up the middle run on the side. Doesn't matter. That was just a bad play call on that end of the game. I really didn't like it. But what really won the game was the overtime in Kansas City players, the cornerbacks, the safety and the cornerback. I think they practiced this because the way they did that when Pat Mahomes threw the ball and the guy tipped it and he went to the other guy. It looks like they practiced.
But also they also played for Mahomes when he does that little side pass when he throws on the opposite side.
It's called the Mahomes crossbody pass.
I mean,
so
that everybody's catching on to.
Yeah, but that's
it might be, but he has his ways. It's a matter of how he zips it through. How he'll zip it through.
2 interceptions.
Yeah, but they should have won in the 4th quarter. That should have been a touchdown. There should have been no reason for that sack or anything like that because they were down there. They only had one run play, and then you're going to try to throw. So that's.
Well, the bottom line is KC choked. Mahomes choked down the stretch.
There's no choking. That was
He
just
choked down the stretch.
No, that was.
You got to call it what it is.
No,
and I had nothing against Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna call it as it is. He choked at the end of the game.
I disagree.
You get rid of that. You get rid of the ball and live to fight another game, another play.
Let me throw something up in there. So the first quarter, 7 points for Kansas City. Second quarter, 14 points. Third quarter, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth quarter, 3
So they scored 3 points in the second half.
And then overtime, we know what happened there.
Yes.
So I don't know. If you don't, I'm gonna say that's a choke job. That's just me. They just got too comfortable. I feel like they just came in comfortable with the strength of their name. Like, yo, we're the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, you guys are just the Bengals that just made it to to a playoff game in how many years? So you know what? We're gonna come in. We're gonna whoop y'all. So they did bully him the first half, and the second half, the new kids on the block said no.
Yeah, it's just the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offensive play caller just made it difficult. You didn't have to make it difficult. It's not hard. Just run it up the middle.
Well, it's kind of funny. In Cincinnati, what did they say? They were not Cincinnati. It's their first. It was their first playoff win. Their first playoff win in 30-something years.
Yeah.
And then they pulled off 3 of them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Joe Cool.
Yeah.
I give all the credit to Joe.
Well, I gotta say, Cincinnati made a perfect move by letting go of Andy Dalton and picking up Burrow.
Nice one.
I'm just saying that's what happened.
Nice one, but maybe so. I mean, look where
I don't think it's a maybe so. I think it is.
Look where they're at right now.
Exactly. This team was in. Did they finish last? Was it last season or the season before? They just had
season before.
They had a horrible record in the Super Bowl 2 years later.
Well, they didn't have. They also didn't have Jamar Chase. They got some guys in the receiving end that weren't on that receiving core where they were the worst, in their division at that time, though.
Gotta give it up to
Well,
the defense,
and their defense. That's the problem. KC, if they're going to win another Super Bowl, and at this point they're going to get to another Super Bowl, they're going to have to work on that defense.
It's going to be hard, man, because Mahomes is taking up a big load of that, salary.
Seems like they have a dilemma that the Bears have. We always have a decent defense. We can never get no offense.
What?
KC has a great offense, but their defense stinks.
They had a good defense when they won the Super Bowl.
Not
So
really. Their
that-
defense has always been bad.
Not
And
really.
Mahomes has been overshining that because he can put up 30 points a game. And, you don't have to have that big of a defense if you're scoring 30 points a game, but that catches up. That will catch up with you because you're not always going to score 30-something a game. And you're going to get those other teams that have high-scoring, powerful offenses, like Cincinnati, that are going to expose that. Kansas City has been exposed on their defense going back to 2 years ago, even the Super Bowl last year.
No, the reason why they lost the Super Bowl last year was because the offensive line couldn't block.
But the defense was also bad. And they're bad. The defense is bad. I mean, they made so they went on a couple stretch run, a couple of games where they did okay. But come on. Last year they were horrible. This year, the first part of the year, they were horrible.
They wasn't.
They were.
They wasn't.
Well, the first 4 or 5 games of the season, they were horrible. And then they picked it up, and their defense picked it up when they went on that long win streak. And then, again, exposed in the playoffs.
Man, I thought last year they lost because of the quarterback that was on the other side. I didn't think it was because of the offensive line. I thought it was because of Tom Brady.
It was because of Tom Brady.
And also, Mahomes didn't have an offensive line either. His offensive line was depleted.
He was getting pressure.
Wow. So they were good enough to make it to the Super Bowl, but all of a
You
sudden,
give Tom Brady depleted.
all of a sudden, when they see Tom Brady, their offensive line is bad. But the entire time before they made it there, they were great.
You give Tom Brady depleted offensive line and see what happens. Well, I guess we did see what happened.
Give that man his
this
credit.
last week, right?
Give that man his credit.
Yeah, I mean, if you pressure any quarterback on a consistent amount of attempts,
Give the GOAT his credit.
You're gonna win. I mean,
Yeah.
you're
Well,
right.
I think we talked about this enough. Let's go on to the next game. San Francisco at LA Rams, and I know that you're pretty happy about this result, but it's,
I mean, I had to stop on by.
so go on and start. You are very happy about it. What did you think of the game?
Watch that game. Now, for one, I'm gonna come out and say that I was, actually surprised that Jimmy Garoppolo, did as well as he did. The man passed for 232 yards, which is more than he did the first 2 games that he played before. I'm just gonna call that out. And he had 2 passing touchdowns, which is amazing because we haven't seen that in about 4 weeks. So, hey, I tip my hat to him, but he is who he is. They were who I thought they were. It's so funny that we're gonna have to bring them up on that, but I expected a loss. I call that a loss. I'm surprised it was so close. Hats off to San Francisco's defense, because obviously they got a squad. I wish the Bears had a defense like that, because they held it down. Deebo Samuel, I mean, what did he really do? 26 yards rushing, nowhere near what the kind of output that he usually has during the regular season. Receiving 72 yards. He did get a touchdown, so I mean it's one of the touchdowns that they scored. And George Kittle, man, thank goodness that guy's on that team, because those are like the only 2 guys that can catch in San Francisco. Kittle and Samuel. That's all you heard. And Garoppolo, Arlington Heights finest. I'm sorry, man. You just don't make the cut. You know what the funny thing was after they lost that game? I don't know if you saw it, but the owner of the 49ers was waiting at the gate and gave him a big hug.
Well, of course.
And a kiss on the cheek. So I think that was like the kiss goodbye.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they let him go. But, I mean, he had a decent game. It wasn't enough. 232 passing, interception. Well, Samuel did actually combine for almost 100 yards, just shy of a couple of yards of 100 yards and a touchdown, so I think he had a decent game. But no one else did. 17 points, I mean, that's not bad asking for going against LA's defense, because they have a good defense too.
Yeah, they do.
But I think they did frustrate the Rams a little bit. The defense, San Francisco's defense, you're right, it is a really good defense. And they just got to get some offense around them, and they're going to be dangerous.
A quarterback. If they get a quarterback, it's a wrap.
They got I would say they probably have maybe the best defense in the league, based on the way they played in the playoffs. They seem like they had pretty much the best defense in the league.
I mean,
out of
they
all the
beat
teams
Green
that we
Bay
played.
by themselves.
Yeah.
By themselves, they beat Green Bay.
Mhm.
We'll call that out.
Special team.
And but I mean, I'm kind of happy a little bit for Matthew Stafford. I mean, this man was 0-3 in the playoffs prior to coming to the Rams, and now he's 3-0 in the playoffs.
0-3, and how many years have he been in the league?
Oh, about
13 years?
Yeah.
Man, that is a long time.
It was with the Lions, man.
0-3
in the playoffs. Now he's equal. Now he's 500 in the playoffs. What do you think? That's unbelievable. Which he can end it with being over 4-3 in the playoffs.
What you got for us, Rob? What you got for that game?
Both defenses played pretty decent. San Francisco did a good job on McDonald. Donald, sorry, not McDonald. So they did a very good job on him. He didn't really come out strong until like the 4th quarter. So there's nothing on that speaks anything. But like I said last week, the Niners were going to be there. But if that safety caught that pass, we'll be talking about the Niners.
You know what? You're right. I forgot all about that. You're right.
So I don't want to hear anything else about anything other than that. So it's a total mishaps on him.
That was a clear-cut
And that's why
interception
they
right
lost the
through
game.
his arms, right through his hands. You're right. That might have ended it.
Jimmy did enough to win the game, which he did. Kudos to you. It was just that missed interception. So all these numbers, all this Matt Stafford, I like him too, but he wouldn't even be talking about no Super Bowl.
Man, I mean, I hear that. And the crazy thing is, no one's talking about, we talk about Matthew Stafford. Man, he had 337 yards. Do you want to know how that was distributed? Cooper Kupp,
Yeah, he
11 receptions. You know how many yards this man caught? 142 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, unstoppable. Odell Beckham, the rejuvenated, resuscitated Odell Beckham that was catching nothing but like 20 yards a game in Cleveland, wasting his time. Now here he is, 113 receiving yards with 9 receptions. I mean, that is super impressive. That's back to like the Giants days, like when he was, a star. Everybody else, you had T. Higbee with 18 receiving yards, but I mean, that was basically those two guys held it down. And Matthew Stafford stepped up. He did the business. 1 interception. I mean, that was a bad throw, but pulled out the win as I thought, and I'm happy.
Cool.
Super Bowl time.
Rams and Bengals. I'm sticking to my guns. I said the Rams are gonna win it. Going with the Rams.
Interesting.
They're hosting the Super Bowl. Second year in a row. Home team actually hosts the Super Bowl.
I think it's still going to be a close game. I think it's still kind of early for me to kind of pick a winner right now, but I think it's going to be a close game.
Too close to pick a winner. Just pick a winner.
Too early.
Oh, come on.
Not early enough for me. I'm gonna go with Cincinnati, man. I'm a Burrow believer right now.
Wow,
I'm
that's
sorry.
amazing.
I'm gonna go with Cincinnati, man. Matthew Stafford, I probably would be rooting for him against another quarterback, but I like the underdog kid, that from a garbage team that he put on his back. Heisman winner. He's a winner. I mean, man, a rookie. Well, actually, he's not a rookie. It's the second year because I remember he broke his leg last year. But for a second-year player, really didn't play much last year. Doing this, I think that's really impressive. So I think he's going to keep it going.
Let me ask you this:
Did you think? Trophy home.
Did you think? I think it was week 3. I think it was, or 2, or week 3. The Bears played the Bengals. Did you ever think when he threw those 3 or 4 interceptions in a row against the Bears, that this is going to be a Super Bowl starting quarterback this season?
That's why you can't really make no early predictions.
Amazing, right?
You gotta wait till like in the middle of the season or later on.
That's a good reminiscent moment because I think I was here watching the game.
Yeah, and I think after that game,
he snapped.
they got it together.
Yeah.
So I mean, whatever they did.
made some adjustments. So
Yeah, but how many teams will make that? Teams that no one's looking at Cincinnati do nothing this year. Nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
And these teams are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I mean,
hats off.
it's not your favorites that are in there every year. No Green Bay, well, they're never in anyway. But New England, and they all had mac and cheese making it to the Super Bowl. Exactly.
No different than expecting Joe Burrow to make it, right?
Exactly. So
No different.
Well, it looks like Joe Burrow seems to be outshining mac and cheese.
I wouldn't say all that.
I'd say all that. He's going to the Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl starting quarterback. Mac and cheese will be lucky if he even gets back to the playoffs.
I think that's crazy talk.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
So
Let's finish off with the NFL. Since you weren't here for your Tom Brady retirement, I know I want to hear some of your thoughts on Tom Brady, which I still think is the greatest quarterback of all time. Period. His accolades speak for themselves. Those 7 rings speak for themselves. Still at 44, still putting up almost 5,000 yards. I mean, that's crazy. What do you have to say about the great Tom Brady?
about time. I'm glad he's retiring. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad he's retiring. But you gotta give credit where credit's due. I mean, I looked at some of his stats. So he has the most passing yards
84,000.
in NFL history, the most touchdowns in NFL history. I think he played the most games. I don't know if he's played the most games. But what I looked at was the other stats. I was looking at his playoff and Super Bowl stats. So he's all-time leader in playoff yards, all-time leader in playoff touchdowns, all-time leader in playoff games, all-time leader in Super Bowl touchdowns and Super Bowl passing yards, and he has more championships than every NFL team in the league.
Well, I thought you were going to say something different.
So, no, I'm saying, so, hey, I'm not going to, I saw those stats and I pop it.
Those are eyebrow raising
Yeah,
to me, man.
so-
I don't know.
I got to give him
Those are
props on that
eyebrow
one.
raising.
But you played in the league for
Totally
22 years. So, I mean, those are great accomplishments. I'm not taking anything away from them. Those are great accomplishments. It's time to hang it up. Father Time says, or Giselle, in this case, says let's retire, Tom. It's you want to take care of his family. His kids are teenagers, about to be adults soon. Take care of your family, Tom. It's time to
No, I
hang
think
it up. You're 44 years old. What
should
more do
still
you got
play
to
if you
prove?
can.
You have 7 championships. You've been to 10 NFL to Super Bowl, 10 Super Bowls.
Can
You know?
you imagine that?
I can't imagine that.
It's
It's a hell of a
22.
career.
Whew.
It's a hell of a career. So it's time the right time to say goodbye. We'll see you in the Hall of Fame in 5, and go and have a wonderful retirement with your beautiful wife and your beautiful kids and your rich lifestyle, and go and enjoy your riches. You've earned it. And I'm happy for the man, He's earned those accolades. He's earned to sit back and relax and go and enjoy the rest of his life and let the NFL move on with younger, more, the future of the league. The future is not a 44-year-old man. The future is a 24-year-old quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes and Burrow and Jackson. Those are the future. That's the NFL. You've had a great, long career, illustrious career, and no one's going to take that away from you. But it is that time to say goodbye,
He can still play.
and it's time to say goodbye. Retire gracefully from the NFL while you still have your health, you're not injured, and we'll see you in 5 years in the Hall of Fame. That's all. I mean, eventually you've got to say goodbye to these players. They've got to retire.
Of course.
So do
was
it now while you're still can do it.
That was the nicest thing I think I've ever heard you say about Tom Brady.
I
man.
wasn't.
I didn't say that. He
Well,
was
I'm not
gonna
going to sit there and talk trash about him. He's retiring.
For the trash.
No, you got to give the man his credit on what he's accomplished.
All right. Some breaking news I just got. Since the Tom Brady was on a podcast like ours, a little earlier called Let's Go, and he said he has not made a decision on retirement yet. He says that the Buccaneers have been in constant contact with him, and players have been in contact with him, and right now it is a day-to-day, and he has not made a decision on that.
So let me say this then. Why would someone just come out of nowhere? Tom Brady's announced his retirement. He said he was going to retire. He made that decision.
It was
No.
It was an emotional.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Emotional.
Yeah,
feeling at the time.
so it wasn't until he says he's retired, and in Tampa Bay, they're desperate as hell. They're desperate. Please, Tom. Please. We'll get the owner, the coach, everyone. Please, Tom. Don't retire. Please, we got to talk to Giselle. Giselle, please don't. He needs to play again. We need him again. Come back. Don't leave. That's what that is. Giselle, just stick to her leg. Look, it's time, Tom. We need to get our family. Wait. After next year, they're gonna want you to come back again.
No.
And again.
It
It's
says-
time to let's stop it now.
The report says that that the Bucks management got in contact with him. They said they want to see him come back, and that he does still have a 1 year remaining on his contract, and
He doesn't have to obligate that.
And he also stated that he wanted to play until he was 45. So he said it was an emotional decision that he made when he said it at that
He's
time.
retired.
We shall see.
He was so shit.
He's retired.
So he probably just made an error making that shit.
Oh, no, it's okay. I think it was a great tribute.
Don't pull a Brett Favre, Tom. Oh, I'm retired. Now I'm not. Then I'm retired. Then I'm not.
He's not pulling.
All right, just
You got one more year
goodbye.
left.
Don't even bother.
The problem
Just
this year, you had Antonio Brown that bugged out. He didn't have him as a receiver. He didn't have his Chris Godwin
And that
as a
was
receiver.
Yeah, huh?
You know, he was missing a lot in the receiving core with, you know, a lot of guys from the B squad, C squad.
He had his
dropping
whole
balls.
offensive line the entire.
But no one
same
can catch
starting
the
line.
ball. Come on, no one can catch the ball except for Mike Evans and the Gronk.
Why bother? Just
I think
retire.
I think he's gonna come back for his last dance run. He's gonna announce that he's gonna retire after this coming season, and this will be his last season.
I don't think
I think
so.
we're gonna see him next year.
I think he's good as done. He's good as gone. He's finished.
I think you were nicer earlier when you thought he was retiring.
Well, I was. He's done. I mean, he made his decision. It's over. I'll be give a couple of days to think about it. A couple of days for you guys to just keep on keeping the media. Look, come out, do your darn press conference that you're retiring. I gotta make a special announcement tomorrow in front of the press. I'm retiring.
Not gonna happen,
See you in the hall in 5. But speaking of which,
bro.
what about let's talk about the Bears. You know, the moves that they made here.
I'm gonna let you kick that one off.
Yeah, go ahead there, pretty boy.
Yep.
So we got our GM
Yes.
and we got our head coach.
Yep.
They're both a Ryan and both a Matt. So now we have Ryan Poles as a GM, decided to hire Matt Eberflus as the head coach.
Everflaw.
Well,
I like that.
he
Well, we don't know the guy yet, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, we got our head coach, and of course it's a defensive coordinator. And how do I say this? Now, his press conference, from what I saw, part of it, and what I've been reading, is that his focus is going to be on the offense. Okay, I'm put a big focus on the offense, and that he is going to work with Fields. He's not.
The defense, you know, he's a defensive
So,
coordinator.
but this is what he said. This is what he's saying. So he's not pulling a Lovie Smith quite yet when he says, I want to, because Lovie Smith never mentioned anything about getting the offense better. This guy actually said his goal is to get the offense. But that's what I want to hear. I want to hear you're going to put a big focus on the offense.
He's a defensive guy. He's not gonna put a focus.
He's a defensive guy, but he's a head coach for everything.
Yes.
And his big focus is you see that you're ranked at the bottom in offense, every offensive category. So what do you think your prime directive would be for this team to succeed? Get an offense, get focused on offense. Draft, free agency, everything for the most part is focused on offense.
That's not his.
Get Justin Fields. Again, you got him that coordinator from Green Bay to get him in there, build this kid up, get him some confidence, get him in there some reps, teach him some plays because now he has to learn a whole nother offense. So we'll throw out last year was a garbage year for him. Throw it out. We're gonna start you now with hopefully a competent coaching staff. We'll see.
That's what we're
And
Exactly.
and
I agree.
focus offensive heavy offense this year. We've got to improve that offensive line. We've got to get a good tight end. We've got to get some receivers that can catch. We've got to improve this offense for God's sakes. I mean, guy, if you could be a top 10 offense, a top 15 offense would be a big significant difference in the game. If you have an average defense and the top 15 offense, you should be able to make the playoffs. But if you don't focus on the offense, they're not going to do anything. It'll be the same crap every year. Decent running game, bottom of the league in offensive yards, bottom of the league in touchdowns, bottom of the league in every offensive category. But in the top, turning the ball over. Come on. They've got to do something. So we'll see what happens. It's just a matter now. They got the GM and they got the coach now. And they're getting the coaching staff together. Now focus on free agency because they don't really have a good draft. And think about some of these players, these aging players. They're not going to pay Hakeem Hicks, so he's gone. Robinson, I honestly think they should think about letting him go and just use that money and get somebody else, get a decent wide receiver.
He's not coming back.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I don't think he's coming back.
You know what? It'd be better he could just move on anyway.
Hicks is not coming back.
Yeah.
Of course not. He better not come back. They better not bring him back.
They're running a different type of defense. They're not
Good.
running back.
Good. Now the next thing I want to know is maybe thinking about trading Khalil Mack, maybe get for some
Someone that'll
picks.
stay healthy.
Not trade him for some picks to build your offense.
Yeah.
What do you think, there, Ralph?
No, that's not going to happen. You're going to see a lot of Lovie Smith defense with this coaching staff.
What about offense?
Offense, what is going to happen is he's bringing a new quarterback coach. Is going to be turning into an offensive coordinator for the first time.
That's Luke Getsy.
Okay.
Yes.
And then they're going to get a quarterback coach to help him as well. So he speaks team unity. Everybody. So he's like everybody's going to be in the same lunchroom at the same time. It's not going to be offensive linemen at one table. It's not going to be defensive linemen at one time. Wide receivers, kickers. Everybody's going to be eating lunch together.
All right.
That's the way he sees it. So it's more of it's community, working together type approach. Okay?
Offensively, that's what we're talking about.
Offense,
here.
yeah, he knows about that. But that's what it's all about, a unity.
So Gatsby is going to be the one taking over the offense.
Yeah,
Yep.
so he said he's going to let people do their job. Even with him, he said he's not going to call no defensive plays. He's going to let the defensive coordinator call these plays. He wants to be the coach. So he's going to be the CEO of everybody. He wants to make sure everybody...
Well, he sounds a little bit different than Lovie Smith. You know, Lovie Smith, when he was hired, he didn't give a damn about the offense.
That's a good step right there.
He didn't give a damn about the
He
offense.
said he wanted to be Green Bay.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
he came
But
in saying,
offensively, he did not do anything to improve that
Because
offense
that's not
at
his
all.
specialty. It was a defensive person.
But you
Yes.
gotta have some. You are the head coach, so you see your defense, your offense is one of the worst in the league. You've got.
That's
to
why he
improve
fired
that.
a couple offensive coordinators and brought in what? What was the guy? Mike.
And he didn't do any good.
Okay.
He was horrible.
And then he brought in somebody else, right?
He was fired by
So
then.
okay then. So I mean, it wasn't like he wasn't paying attention.
He
It
wasn't
just
paying attention.
working.
He just didn't give a damn.
But the
about
GM
offense.
for the Bears say his main goal is to build through the draft. Okay. He
That's
said
gonna be
he's
hard
on
to
the
do this
same
year.
page with the coach that he has now. He said free agency.
Exactly.
He's
That's
going to
what
be
they're gonna need.
selective about it. Okay? So that's the way he is. Now the coach speaks on a different term. He's like he wants his team to be high tempo, speed, energy, give out max effort. He told the players, get your track shoes ready because you're going to be running. What does that sound? Lovie Smith.
Is he saying get your track shoes ready because half of you are going to be out of here
No.
next season?
He's saying
because
that
most of you
people
guys
are going to be
Most
running.
of you will not be on this team come opening day
They running
2023. That's what they're saying.
Rob Marinelli.
That sounds more like Mike
Rob
Ditka to me.
Marinelli- What?
That sounds like more like Mike Ditka to me. When he got in here, he said, I
said
got good
something
news and bad news.
Yeah, but
Good news is we're going to go to the Super Bowl in a couple of years. Bad news is most of you will not be here for that.
no, he said
He was right about that.
The reason why he said the track shoes because it's just like with Lovie Smith. Remember how he came here, had everybody running?
No,
That's what he's going to be doing here
no.
because they're changing the defense. Okay, they're changing everything around. So that's probably going to take another year. So this year that's coming up is going to be another exhibition year.
We don't know
And you're
about
not
that. It
gonna see
depends on the
nothing
moves they
next
make. If they go hard in the free agency market or they trade some of
They're
these
not gonna
aging
do
players
that,
to get
Frank.
some draft picks for them, I think that they can compete this year.
They're
This
Well,
season.
They
Well.
said he said he's going to be selective. So that doesn't mean like he's going to go hard in the free agency.
Poles had an interview today, and what he was talking about is exactly that. He said that his main mission is to take back the NFC North
Yeah.
and
There
not
you go.
give it back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a wide open right now. I think I personally think Rodgers is gone. That's just me.
I think
And
so
if he
too.
does leave, it is wide open, and I don't see a reason why we can't take it. We got a new coach, new offensive coordinator, it's gonna be a whole new scheme. I don't see why we can't
It's gonna
take
take
it.
a long time to adjust.
Well,
Shifting scheme.
Minnesota also is doing the same thing. They got the new GM,
Yeah.
new coach. They have to get all
They're
new
trying
staff
to get
there
Jim
too.
Harbaugh right now.
That's what I was hearing.
They flew him in for an interview today. So
Why didn't the Bears try to get him? At least try to.
From what I'm hearing, just from stuff around like on Sports Talk Radio, is because Jim Harbaugh is probably requesting a little bit too much money that the Bears organization.
Pay
They
for it.
never pay. God, they're
Pay
just so
for it.
damn cheap when it comes to
every other
coaches.
team pays for their
They pay
wins.
for it. And
pay for it.
also too,
That doesn't count towards your cap. Pay them.
also too, what I was hearing that his personality doesn't match.
He's a quarterback. You don't think he can? He can definitely coach Fields.
So he can go to Minnesota, but he can't come here.
Hey, that's what they want.
Anyway,
That's why I. Feel
Well, we'll see what happens.
That's why I
We'll
feel-
see what happens.
Unfortunately, that's why I feel like the Bears are not going to win anything until there is different ownership. So everybody has to be on the same page. You can't have the quarterback and offensive coordinator on the same page, and the GM and the coach and the owners are not. Everybody got to be on the same page, dude.
Well,
Everybody.
they said that they were gonna be. He said he was gonna be shopping. They're shopping for players to make a difference this year. So he says that they want to be on a good campaign this year to try and win instead of just being there. 6 wins. I don't want to be sitting down and watching the Bears lose 11 games. I mean, come on, that's my Sunday, and that's my team.
Yeah, that's why I feel like they shouldn't be changing the defense. They should leave something consistent. The defensive aspect shouldn't change. That's when you can focus on more on the offense, because then that way you just leave. At least you have the defense. That's kind of solid. You may add 1 or 2 players there, but you know what you have to do in the offense. That's what you need to focus on. You need to get Fields up and running, because he needs to be Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Sorry, Joe Burrow. Sorry. He needs to be that. So if he can't be that, then it doesn't matter what you do. Because I just feel like now you're changing 2 things. You're trying to get the offensive up and running, and then you're going to try to change the defense to the way your standard is, the Tampa 2. Everything that you did, the cover 2. Remember all those headaches you got from the cover 2? I really don't want to see that. Really don't want to see that again.
Well,
really don't want to see that again. Good Lord.
I just want them to be an offensive team. I want them to have a high-powered offense.
Like I said,
That's what we need. That's what the Bears need.
So you're not going to get it until everybody's in sync.
There's something else I want to talk about.
What is that?
Eberflus. Like, why is he bringing in all these Indianapolis Colts coordinators?
Because that's his history with
That's
that
where he
team.
comes from.
I mean, we're basically absorbing safety coach Alan Williams, linebackers coach Dave Barganzi, cornerbacks coach James Rowe. I mean, Breer, defensive backs coach Dave Overstreet. I mean, we're getting like 5-6 people from the Colts.
Yeah, that's where he came from.
Well, the head coach picks who they want as their coaching staff. The GM picks the coach. That's the whole thing. That's how it works.
How did Indianapolis do last year?
Hey, dude. Like I said, man.
They had a decent defense.
How did they do last year?
They didn't make the playoffs. No, they didn't. They didn't make the playoffs last year, I think.
Mm-mm. Sounds like a lot
I'm
of
looking
success
at
coming our
it's
way.
just what I'm looking at is the damn talent. Who are you getting in free agency? Who are you going to be drafting? I don't want to see.
Wait and see.
I don't want to see no more 4-12s or 4-13s or 6. What did they say? 6-11. I don't want to see that anymore. I don't want to see that no more.
11
I want to see
losses.
11-6. I want to see several 11-6s or 12-5s, and
I want to see progression. I want to see Fields.
I want to see
make
playoff
true
appearances.
passes.
I want to see a top 10 offense.
I want to see Fields be able to make the throws while the receivers be able to get that yak.
Exactly. You got to get some damn receivers for that.
How are we going to do that with a defensive-minded coach?
That's what I'm saying. He wants to change it, and so that's going to take a whole bunch of other things. But see, he's going to put his trust into those people.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can do what they need to do to make it right.
To me, it's a contrast. How do you have a defensive-minded coach, and then you have the Packers offensive coordinator, because you know what he's about. So
You're going to see a lot of Packer plays next year.
yeah, we are. But man, it's got to be better than some of these little sideline throws that we do. They get on my nerves.
That was
Every
Matt
single Sunday.
Nagy's coaching staff.
Every
That was
Sunday
his
just-
play calling.
Let me throw it directly to
By the way, is he?
sideline.
Are they gonna get jobs again in the NFL?
Not right now.
No.
I'm sure
I
he
think
will.
so.
The man
Yeah,
was
he
a
will,
head
yeah.
coach. He has a history, and did he finish just at 500 with us.
A couple of
he
games
had a
over.
winning record.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
winning
not
record.
like,
That was, but most of that winning record was that one winning season.
yes,
he had.
the first
exactly.
two seasons
No,
was
first season.
When
Only.
he took advantage of
The second, the
defense.
last couple of seasons were all 500 seasons,
oh,
and then this season was
just horrible
yeah.
downhill. I know I was done with it.
But we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. Now, we know they don't have a first round pick, but let's see what moves they make with this new regime. Give them a chance to see what they do.
You have to.
You gotta see what they
The
do.
good thing is they brought in an assistant GM, Ian Cunningham, so that's a good thing. So
We'll take a look and see what happens. We'll just give it some time.
That's good.
So,
Spent 14 seasons in the NFL, 5 with the Eagles, and then before that, spent 9 with the Ravens. Director of player personnel. He was a player personnel assistant with the Ravens. Then before that, he was an area scout. Won Super Bowls with the Ravens and the Eagles.
well, again, let's give them a chance to see what they can do. But moving on now, the Bulls.
The Bulls.
So they won a pretty impressive game against Portland yesterday.
Yes, they did.
But a horrible game on Friday.
Yeah, against Toronto.
Yeah.
No, that was the Spurs.
Not the Toronto Spurs. Where'd you get Toronto from?
I thought didn't they play Toronto?
They beat
Yeah,
Toronto.
we beat Toronto. Yeah, so.
Oh no, that was Orlando. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a different team.
Yeah, so I mean, that game against the Spurs.
Yeah, that was just horrible. I don't know what
It
happened
was.
there. I don't know what happened there.
I think if it happened again the next night, the Bulls would have won. There was just an off night, so I'm just gonna wrap that up and just throw
No,
that
it was
away because.
It was a typical Greg Popovich's coaching.
What's
The
their
Bulls
record?
the
They're
Bulls
like
can't
10th
stop the
in
pick and
West.
roll.
That's true.
He kept doing it to him all the time.
That's true.
That's why they lost.
Yeah, they lost. They got outplayed and outcoached in that game.
But we were able to beat the Toronto Raptors,
Yes.
which is a surging team. You know, I mean,
But in that Spurs game, they got outcoached. It was
They had a problem
ridiculous.
holding
But they came back. They bounced back against Portland. You know, pretty impressive win.
Yeah,
You know,
Kobe
and,
taking shots and knocking them down.
I mean, all I can really ask for them is stay as healthy as they can at this point, and then wait for the players to come back. You know, and
Portland was shooting there.
yeah,
Portland was shooting the lights
yeah,
out.
CJ McCollum still had 29 points.
yeah, how do
He
you
was
let
looking
him
like he was, because he's a baller. He's a baller. Man.
Exactly, dude.
I think he has just as much skills as Damian
But if
Lillard.
you're doubling him, you don't let him score that much, and you just let someone else beat you.
I think if you watch them enough, you'd know that he finds his way to score. That guy is a scorer.
You're gonna see these a lot of teams doing a lot of this pick and roll against the
Mm-hmm.
Bulls
Because that's the recipe.
Yep.
That's the recipe.
Well, the good thing is you saw Vooch down low a few times, throwing the ball up there like he's supposed to be doing.
Monster numbers: 24 points
Yes.
and 14 rebounds. Monster numbers. I don't know. Those are the kind of numbers I want to see from him on a nightly basis because he's that kind of player. He used to put that up nightly
And a surprising person who had a surprising decent game, Bradley.
I mean, he did show up.
Yeah, surprisingly. I mean,
You know, he's not.
you
my
know how
favorite.
much he's been getting a lot of heat here. You know, definitely for me. You know, of course I call him our hitman. They need to use him for when they play Milwaukee again.
Ooh.
Well,
Grayson Allen.
I gotta say, man, it's been 2 years, January the 26th, since Kobe's death. So that's a sad thing there.
Yeah, it is 2 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Rest in peace to a baby goat.
Yeah,
That's a baby goat.
rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. You know,
Baby goat.
who, you know, in my opinion, they always want to compare. They want to say LeBron to Jordan. In my opinion, Kobe is a better player than LeBron. Period.
Yeah, that's what we call sports opinions.
Yeah, and I don't know why people want to sit there and put. They want to put LeBron over to Jordan's level. No, first of all, he's not even at Kobe's level. You know,
Here we go.
Kobe won, I think, more MVPs, won more championships, much better record in the finals.
Stop.
I mean,
Stop.
enough said. But anyway, that's another time. That's a conversation for another
That
day.
man has brought scrubs to multiple
Oh my
fights.
God, I'm tired of hearing this.
I don't want to hear it.
He played with his
I don't
best
wanna-
friends in Miami. He's trying to get his star-studded team in Cleveland and another star-studded team in the Lakers. Give me a break. I don't hear about bringing garbage players because that you could have said that the first 10 years of his career or 8 years of his career, but not since 2010. No way.
Hey, you know what?
No way. Stop it.
He did leave Cleveland, and he did go to Miami to go with his best friends. You know, the Heatles. You remember that?
Yes, of course. Yes.
You know,
yes.
Chris Bosh was doing all that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what happened to Cleveland after LeBron left?
They became crap.
Oh.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything since he left.
Wait, who was on that team when they were crap?
When he left and went to Miami, nobody.
By the time he came back, who was on that team for a year or two?
When he came back, and that team, they had Kyrie Irving.
Oh,
with a bunch of but hold on.
Uh-huh.
You know who they held? They had drafted? Did they draft Andrew Wiggins?
With a bunch of what? Which they got rid of.
Scrubs.
They traded him to Minnesota for Kevin Love.
Right.
Okay, so look where Andrew Wiggins is right now. All-star. Cleveland could have done decent with Irving there and Wiggins there.
Not really.
You know, they could have. Yes, they could have. They could have.
The point is this.
But LeBron came, Cleveland, can I come home?
The point is this: is he had to bring them a championship because that's his city.
Good.
So he went back to a bottom of the barrel team. It was the worst record.
Yeah.
I
They
think
got him to four straight NBA Finals,
I
right?
think that year
And went 1-4.
They didn't even get 10 wins. Like they were that bad, and then he just comes back to town and automatically
they go to the finals.
Automatically,
next 4 years,
he resurrects his team.
Yep.
Exactly. Before he went to Miami wasn't winning.
They were a playoff team.
But they weren't winning.
Dwayne Wade was by himself.
Dwayne Wade was like, look, man,
Yeah.
I need some help down here. Bronny,
Yeah.
I need you to come on down here.
Yep.
Come get this ring with me.
Yep.
See what it feels like,
Yep.
and then you can go back to Cleveland and go do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the Heatles,
Mhm.
won his couple of championships,
Mhm.
came back
Went to
to
Cleveland. Who did he go with Cleveland? Who was there when he got to Cleveland?
Kyrie Irving.
Wasn't
the
by
same
himself.
Guy, the same guy that was out there.
And who else?
Losing all his
Who
games.
else? Who else?
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie wasn't
else?
making those.
What did he get? He got
Kevin Love. They traded for Kevin Love.
Kevin
Who
Love
else?
was a
Wait.
shell of himself
Who else?
at that time.
Didn't they get some other?
So-
Did they get some other veteran players?
You're
there?
crediting? Oh, J.R. Smith.
I was about to say.
J.R. Smith.
I was
It's not just him. They
So
got,
you
they
got
got some
J.R.
other
Smith running
players.
around with them. Okay, so you bring a bottom of the barrel team again and win a championship. Bring them to it 4 times. He leaves.
Even after all of that,
Exactly.
he goes to 4 straight NBA Finals with Cleveland, and goes 1-3 in the finals. He goes to Miami. He goes 2-2 in the finals. He's making the finals. And he
Those are
lost
all
for Bryant.
rings. But he's bringing
He went to
rings.
we won 2 in Miami, 1 in Cleveland, and lost 1 in Cleveland.
And then he goes.
Then he goes to LA.
Wait. He goes to another bottom of the barrel team.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom of the barrel, the West.
Mm-hmm.
The LA Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
which hadn't even sniffed the playoffs since the great Kobe Bryant had retired. Okay, what does he do? What does he do? Everyone thought, oh, Kawhi Leonard's going to the LA Clippers, and he's being joined by Paul George. Oh, they're gonna win a championship. They're gonna win it. Nope, the Bionic Man is not so bionic. The Bionic Man has been sidelined for a while, working on his ridiculous laugh. That laugh is just out of this world. That's why he's not a real star. And
Really?
Back-
You talking about the great Kawhi Leonard's not a real
great
star?
Kawhi Leonard. The guy's he's street clothes.
He's a
number
winner
2.
everywhere he goes. He's won.
Street clothes number 2. He sits right next to Anthony Davis. Street clothes. So he goes to another bottom of the barrel team, and what does he do? He brings them a championship.
Oh, are you really going to count that time?
Automatic.
That bubble championship?
All the people that contended and
And what's
tried
he
to
done
win,
since then?
He's been averaging 30 points a night.
No, what's his team's done? What did they do last year?
All I have to say is 8 straight finals.
Thank you.
And all I could say,
That's
yeah.
it. That's all I gotta
How
say.
many
Four-
finals did the Bulls
Four
see
and
since Jordan left?
8 straight.
4 and 6 in the finals.
Doesn't matter.
How many finals
8
has the
straight.
Bulls seen?
You know how many games that is?
So what?
8
Oh,
straight.
What matters, are you winning in the
It
finals?
doesn't
He has
matter. That's
4.
8
He's
straight.
lost 6 NBA
But he's
finals.
won 4.
But he lost 6. He's under
But
500 in the finals.
There are players that have never even seen the finals.
Tom Brady was 7-3.
Chris Paul saw the finals for the first time last year with the Phoenix Suns after how many seasons? 13, 14 seasons?
Yeah.
But
LeBron has played how many years? I played 19 years. Let's say, what if Jordan played 20 years? What would have happened if he played 20 years in the league? If he never retired at all?
How many years did he play before he won those 6 championships? You make it seem like every time Jordan touched the ball, he was winning a champion. He won 6 out of how many years did he play in the league?
How many times? He played 15 years in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He won 6 championships. Okay. He went 6 times.
Those are great.
And won 6 times. Never lost at all. Never went to a game 7. 6 finals MVPs.
Okay, so
I mean, come on now.
He won 6 won 6 champions. He got, I should say 6 chips, and then the first 3. Look how many games that he played, winning all those finals. Okay, so imagine he took 18 months like a retirement, come back and win 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James didn't take no retirement, went to 8 straight finals.
He's played more years.
It doesn't matter.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. If Jordan would have played 20 years, he probably would have had 10 championships. So stop.
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
tired of this. I'm tired of this argument. The bottom argument is this. The guy is 4-6 in the NBA Finals.
No.
That means it makes him a 4-time winner and a 6-time loser.
He has 4 championships.
Yes.
That doesn't really matter.
He's a 4-time winner and a 6-time loser.
With 3 different teams.
So Jordan won all his with one team. Kobe won all his with one team.
Yes.
Timmy D won all his with one team.
But Kobe didn't go to 8 straight finals.
And
Neither
also
did Tim
Kobe
Duncan.
didn't also leave the Lakers to go play for some other team and play with his best friends in every damn city he goes to. So I don't want to hear that crap either. And now he's in the Lakers. He's with the Lakers now, and they just please load me up with over the hill superstars. Get me Westbrook. Get me Anthony Davis. Get me Fart Man. Get me who else? Who am I missing? DeAndre Jordan. I mean, get me all these other players, please. Get me all. Give me all of them. Give me Carmelo Anthony. Give me them all. How's that working for him now?
8 straight finals.
Okay, it won't be 9 because he ain't getting back.
He didn't go to 9 straight finals.
Exactly.
No, he's saying it's
he won't be going to a 9
because LeBron's 37 years old.
It doesn't matter.
I'm still gonna be hating
with
that
3 different teams.
That team he's on is not going to the finals, and it lost again.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think. You know what? I'm almost, but it's hard for me to say this, but I'm kind of thinking they might not make the playoffs at all. They might miss the play-in too.
Who cares?
What do you mean who cares? He didn't come to LA to not make the playoffs.
He already won them a chip. It doesn't matter.
In a bubble season?
Mission was accomplished.
Exactly. He got them the chip.
You know what's so funny?
My goodness, I don't understand. That season does not count. I wouldn't even count that season.
You know what's so funny? The funny thing is, so many people busted their butts in that bubble season. So many people got hurt. Competed so hard.
That was a good.
It was. It was great.
It shouldn't have happened.
But yet, because the great LeBron James won it, someone is going to go ahead and say it doesn't count because it's a bubble, and he won it in a bubble. But had it been the LA Clippers that have won under the cruel tutelage of Kawhi Leonard, it would have been a great campaign. It would have been great. So because of your bias on LeBron James, I cannot listen to the bubble season not counting because. The true sign of greatness is a man can leave one team, win you a championship, go to another team, win you a championship, go to another team, and win you a championship. Wait, before you say anything, how's that working for Jimmy Butler? Has he won a championship for anyone? He's been jumping from team to team, looking for the perfect team. You have no problems with that. He's looking for all
He hasn't won anything.
He's looking for all the super friends
he
so he can win.
He hasn't
won
anything.
He went to Philadelphia, tried to form a super team there. He's not that good. He went to Minnesota, got tired of the youngins, decided to wear a Rolex and show them all out and beat them in a practice game. He traded them off. Not that good. He didn't win them a championship there.
Okay.
You know, here in the Bulls, he didn't do anything here. They shipped his ass away.
Okay. So I hear what you're saying there, but none of that would have ever happened if the Bulls never traded him to begin with. He'd still be on his contract with the Bulls now.
We're talking about greatness of team
if he would have stayed here, if the Bulls didn't trade him, he wouldn't be tripping. He would have went from from Minnesota to Philly
Would he
to
have-
Miami because
would he
he's
have-
on the same Bulls
Would
contract.
he have won us a championship?
Probably. If they would have kept him and built up players around him, he probably would have.
Thank you for joining Sports.
You know,
Opinion.
so I mean, well, before we wrap this all up,
Okay.
you guys haven't mentioned anything about the All-Star votes because you want
Yeah,
we're
to
just
get
gonna-
off the
we're
case where you want to go and talk about LeBron and all that. Well, let's talk about
You brought that
LeBron.
up, but
So
8 straight fights.
the West team is called Team LeBron,
Mhm.
and the East team is called Team Kevin Durant.
yes.
So, but the starters were voted by the fans in each conference. So it's not going to be LeBron pick whatever players you want and Kevin Durant pick whatever players you want. So it's East
Yeah,
All Stars
back.
and West All Stars, and which is
fine,
good.
I mean,
Now, the West All Stars, and let me see if you agree with this. We got Stephen Curry.
Check.
We got Jay Morant.
Check.
We got Nikola Jokic, former
Check.
MVP.
The Joker. Check.
We got, and then we have, LeBron James, of course, is a starter.
thank you.
Double check.
And then you have Andrew Wiggins. Now, I agree with all those picks except for Andrew Wiggins. I think that you could have put Devin Booker in there. The Suns have the best record in the
Right.
league, so
I
you want
agree,
to.
but-
And Booker's a killer.
He's always getting overlooked, man. Always getting overlooked.
And that should stop because the guy
He should have been a
puts
starter.
in work. Look at him. He puts in work. He's a shooter.
Wiggins, to me, he may have deserved being an all-star, but not a starter. And this is the problem when you let the fans make the decisions.
I'm surprised the fans voted for Wiggins like that, though. I'm surprised. But-
Well, I mean, what do you think of that starting lineup? Do you have a problem with it?
no, I really don't have a problem with it.
Well, my
Even
problem,
with Wiggins? You don't have a problem with that?
Because the All Star is for the fans, not for anything.
Mike, what's your opinion?
my opinion on that is he's very fortunate to be on the Golden State Warriors.
He's
I
a
mean,
good player now.
He's a
come
good
on.
player. He has been hitting the threes. That has improved. I've been watching all their games at night because they come on late at night, and that's all I do really. And he has improved a lot being over there. But to be a starter over Devin Booker,
No.
they deserve to have at least somebody on the floor having the best record in the West. So that's my problem with that.
And then,
Ask yourself this question: who gets more television coverage? Golden State or the Phoenix Suns?
Right now
well, they
they're
both. The
yeah.
Phoenix Suns is the
They
defending
both
Western
come on
Conference
at night.
champion.
I watch a
so
lot of their games.
they
now.
put a lot of Phoenix games on
Who
national
comes
TV.
on more though?
Golden State Warriors.
Exactly.
Well, Golden State's won more. They're a top tier. They're a
Okay,
top
that-
marquee
that's why.
team.
Yeah.
That is why.
But Phoenix is not that far behind, even though, in my opinion,
True
I think
basketball
I think
enthusiasts
they're not getting back to the
will be
finals.
more,
Well, we only got a couple of minutes here. Let's talk about the East. So, Team Durant.
Mm-hmm. Which
So he's supposed to be starting, but he's not going to be in
he's
the
not
game,
going to be playing.
which is ridiculous. Then we got good old home team Bulls with DeMar DeRozan, well deserved.
Yes.
You agree?
Yes.
And then we got followed by Philadelphia 76ers Joel Embiid and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
They
Agree.
both deserve.
And
Yes.
yeah, okay,
Both deserve.
okay. And then you have Trae Young.
That was more of a surprise. I thought it would be Zach.
Yeah, I'm upset with that because if Golden State can have Andrew Wiggins and Steph Curry out there, we should be able to have DeMar DeRozan.
Well, maybe they can
and
still
Zach
put him in
LaVine.
because they got to replace Durant.
So he's gonna see some playing
Yeah,
time
he-
because
Someone has to
because
replace
someone
him
had
as
to
a
sit.
starter.
No, he deserved to be out there.
The
Zach
fans didn't
LaVine
vote him in there though.
Deserved to be out there. His numbers are pretty much identical to DeMar DeRozan's. He comes in every night, puts in work unless he has COVID.
And in case we don't know this, Kevin Durant has a sprained knee ligament.
Yeah, he's not gonna be back for like another 8 weeks.
Are you just saying that?
He's not gonna be back for another 8 weeks.
That's your opinion. That's his opinion.
It's
He
a sports
doesn't.
opinion for regular guys, and you know what?
That's why we call us.
My other nickname is Money Mike, and a lot of times my predictions are right. Just look at what happened last weekend.
So we don't have a problem with the starters except for Trae Young, 12th seeded
I
team.
mean, he's
Who
good.
else would you have
He's
had
good,
out
but
there?
he's a popular dude.
He is. He's a baller.
Just knows like
He's a younger version of Steph Curry right now.
Well, we'll see.
And that's what they
Now they're going to announce the
Chicks lick the
reserves.
bun ball.
Yeah, well.
Well, Zach
They,
Levine better be in the reserve.
Well, they're going to have to announce the reserves on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. I guess our next show, by the time we make our next show, we'll see who the reserves are.
Yeah.
And obviously,
What's that, Thursday? They're gonna...
Yeah, I'm just wondering about the other stuff, like whatever they're doing for the rookie game if they do it again this year, they're gonna put Io in there.
He better be.
Possibly.
He's one of my favorite players on the Bulls. I mean,
They haven't really decided the participants of that game or even the slam dunk contest or none of that.
that's
yet.
crazy. I have so many favorite players on that team. It's hard to keep track of.
Well, I mean,
It's hard.
of what team? The Bulls?
Yeah, you got
No, it's a
DeRozan,
hometown
Zach
team.
Levine. I'm a big fan of Caruso. I'm missing Lonzo Ball right now.
I didn't say Vujicic.
I love watching the Io because it's like he's so humble. You don't see this guy showing anybody up. He be
What about
killing them
Green?
every night. He's got killer hops. Vooch, y'all know my stance on Vooch. I love Vooch. I thought he was great in Orlando, and he's doing the damn thing out here. So I'm good with it.
They just got to get healthy.
Yep.
But they won yesterday, so they're and then tonight we saw that Miami got absolutely creamed by Boston tonight.
Minus Jimmy Butler. It has another.
Jimmy Butler, unfortunately, is
injury.
injured. But Jimmy buckets will get back in there. Miami's gonna be a dangerous team.
Yep.
And they're all most of those dangerous teams. But
They
it's
coach
wide
real
open.
good, man. They coach really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
they
so,
are.
well,
But that does it for us today. We will be doing another show again after the All-Star selection announcements or whatnot. I know there's no football coming on this weekend, really.
darn.
I know. So it's going to be
The Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl comes
Oh,
on.
yeah, okay. So that should be good. You think Rodgers is going to be playing in that?
He may. You know who won't be in there? Burrow and
Yeah, they're going to be going
what's his
to the
name?
Super
Won't be in there.
Bowl. But,
and Stafford won't be in there.
But yeah, so we'll see you guys again. Again, thank you for watching. We finally did start up, our RSS feed, so we have like a voice version of this only. If you don't want to see our faces or see Frank get upset, you can just hear him. You can hear it in his voice. But we have that. We have a Facebook page that we also post this on. Instagram. Hit it up. Check it out. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free. Anything. We like to interact. All right. So again, see you.